Hello there, Mike the MC, bringing you the self-care video, freeing yourself up. The inspiration for this video comes from my work where I was seeing several of my clients wanting to kind of break free from the situations today. You can see this on about every client I work with in my profession as a social worker and caseworker, etc., counselor. But the thing is, when you look at every person that you're trying to help and they want to break free, right? Can you help yourself being the one that is the professional, so to speak, wanting to just watch and try to present some solution, but yet it seems like the client seems stuck, right? How many of us feel that sort of like, does it feel helpless, or do you just know that it's always present, always there, that there is a situation of being in a state of pause? You want your client to succeed. You want your family member to be successful. You want your husband, your wife to have a breakthrough in their life. You want everybody that you know, I would hope, as some way to improve it. But when you're just witnessing somebody's downfall, right, and you are just watching a person just spiral into the downhill, just breaking down, there is a sense of hopelessness, right? That it's just so tempting to fall into if you don't want to believe in that there's a hopeful outcome, a future. And so I'm kind of going into this topic with a bit of a reasoning to explain how we can get out of it possibly, but also how to not give up when you're stuck in that kind of situation, in the bit of the gray area. And I think there's something to be said about there. And now I want to bring another area of influence with this video, where I remember talking with when I was in the seminary, my mentors, my spiritual directors. He told me, okay, when you are in the gray area, you cannot go forward or go backwards. You're stuck right now in the space that you've chosen in your life. But I feel like, in a way, that was kind of a negative perception of how to consider your life in whatever context you want to consider yourself in, with whatever career you're choosing, your life, etc. Because I feel like that was kind of a bit of hopelessness, because you just wanted to believe in something. But when I heard my director tell me that, I'm like, wait a minute. I think there's more to life if we just give ourselves a chance here. Come on. So give me a chance. Maybe I can have that breakthrough. Maybe I can find the solution to the problem if I'm willing to push myself just a little further to where I can start believing in a solution. And so that way, by holding out, the solution will present itself. And now maybe someone will say, oh, well, maybe he was just trying to be a good guy, just trying to tell you, Mike, that he was just being real. Okay, yeah, I get that, being real. But I always feel like optimism can balance itself with realism, to where the realism does not overtake you to where you feel like, oh, there's just only one answer, and now it's just gloom and doom, right? Rationally, you could do all the probabilities, and this is where, if you fall into a state of probability, being so rational, so logical, how can you hope to have a successful outcome, overcoming the odds, beating the obstacle, getting past your opponent, getting past the situation? And so I think the beauty of being optimistic here is, when you want to have a breakthrough, when you want to free yourself up for a brighter future, there is that state of hope that you have to have in your life. You have to believe that you can find somebody, some agency, some solution, some program that your client can embark and enlist in, right? Can sign themselves up for, so that way they can break free from whatever situation they're in. But I think the other part of it is, when you look for the opportunities as a professional, what is it that allows you to see with awareness to really find those resources for your clients? And I think looking at this also from a perspective of trying to break through, trying to free yourself up to help other people, you yourself have to realize what solutions are out there, what resources are available for the people in your community. And kind of inspired by that also, by this video for today, is the idea that, okay, if I'm not aware of the solutions in my environment, if I'm not aware of the outcomes that could potentially happen for clients if I don't push them into seeking the help that I know is right there, okay, there is a bit of stalemate, where it's like, okay, they're just looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, okay, where are we going with this? Why are we doing all these sessions if we're not going to push ourselves forward, Mike? Why is it that you want me in the service for these sessions so many times if we're not even going to push forward and help myself succeed? And so here I would argue, as a health professional, you want to help your clients, but you don't want to hold them back for as long as you can for the bill and the potential gains for financial success. So yeah, I know some people say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, don't call me up. But no. I'm saying you have to be ready to welcome more clients into your schedule, into your week, into your calendar. So that way you're not stuck with just the one client that you're relying on to have all your service hours, all your work hours each week. You have to have a bit of flexibility, because if you do the same role over and over and over again, eventually people figure you out. And it's like, okay, if you're just playing the same thing all over again, then of course we're going to figure out your strengths and your weaknesses. And that way we'll never turn to you, because we already know what kind of counselor you are. We kind of know what kind of perspective you have, because you just want to force us into one solution that is already set, that you already have in mind. And the trap here is, okay, when you want to react and say, no, I have all these other solutions, be quiet, settle down and say, wait a minute. These people are right, because I was relying on my strengths, and now they've put me into this rabbit hole of the only solutions that I'm aware of. So let me just get back into my state of thinking. Let me get back into a state of game planning. And when I game plan and look around in my community, okay, let me reflect on where I was not being open and aware to find these other solutions, and let me go out. Let me go out into the community and find them. Let me go out and be an awesome advocate for someone who needs their voice to be heard. So by doing that, you have to be willing to talk with other people, talk with business owners, talk with other people who are potentially willing to help others, but you got to be brave to talk to those people as well. And I can't tell you how many times I've done that for clients on their behalf, to present a possible solution for them as a sign of charity, as an act of kindness. And the people who I ask, I put that out just saying, hey, this is just for an act of charity. If you're able to do this, we appreciate it. It's up to you. And the thing is, you want to have that opportunity with the owner and the boss to recognize, hey, okay, this person's coming to me, this caretaker, this caseworker wanting help from me. Okay, at least she is just presenting this idea that if it's up to me, it's up for me to figure out if I want to help them or not, from the perspective of the owner. And when the owner accepts that they can be the hero, all right, there is a solution. There's something right there that you can work with. There's something right there that you can work with as a counselor to help that client. And you're thinking, oh wow, here we go. We're going to move forward now in the solutions that we got presented before us. Here we go, and we're going to make this work for you and I, and possibly refer other clients to you in the future, because now we can build a public relations. Now I can write and give a letter of thanks to say to you, hey, you helped our agency, from my agency to yours. Thank you so much. We'll refer more people to you in the future, because we can rely on you to help the community, because you are a responsible, powerful owner who understands that beyond business, you have to have a bit of a legacy, and some legacies are very important to you. And so keep that in mind when you're a health professional, when you're a professional of any kind really, that in order to make that change happen, you have to respect the people who are established early in the community. So that way, when you talk to them and ask them for support, respect what they've done, acknowledge that, hey, they're busy too. And when you accept and acknowledge that they're busy business people too, just like yourself, okay, now you can present the solution from a state of humility, where, okay, they're more willing to work with you, knowing that you were respecting who they are and their legacy, and that you yourself want to do something good, and they recognize, okay, this young person, this advocate, this social worker, this counselor, they want to help people in the community. Let me see what I can do to help them right now, and be a part of that legacy for them, that client especially, and see what I can do to earn a good name in the community. And that's the thing. You have to keep these options in mind when you want to break through and have several solutions presented for the people that you help in your workload, and recognize, hey, beyond just this profession, you can do this with all professions. How am I going to advertise my business to other people? How am I going to have that breakthrough if I'm not going to go out and be brave myself to talk with others, right? I have to be brave, go out and talk. That is why I like some of the famous businessmen, entrepreneurs who go out about in public. And that's what I've learned from them that I'll share with you, as far as when you have that bravery to talk in front of other people. Okay, you're breaking ice, you're making the connections as far as information that is shared. And now that when you're sharing that information, sharing links between your business and another person's, now you're representing your business professionally in a nice way. And I can't tell you how many times that by advocating on behalf, not just for the client, but for the business itself, you come off as a bit of a strong person, because now they recognize, okay, this person's serious. That seriousness does carry some weight with you if you're willing to use it to advocate for people who need that help. Okay, so when you're having that breakthrough, coming back to this point of a client feeling hopeless, they need to see you as a leader and be inspired by you as the health professional, as the professional wanting to help them in their situation. They have to see you stand up for themselves, to be the advocate, to be the one to say, hey, I want to help this person in a time of need. I want to help them right now because they need someone to really be that spirit of hope for them in their life right now. And I can't tell you how fun that is to be in that position. But then it could be very dreadful as well if you don't catch yourself and you recognize, oh my gosh, I've given myself so much for the other people that I'm trying to serve. And now I'm in a state of, in a way, neediness. Because I need to support my people. I need to help the others. I've put myself in the state of responsibility. It is now on me, and if I don't push and pull my own weight, now people are going to struggle, and this will not end well. This will not end well because now it's all based on me. So the trick is, talking with my boss about this, you have to be willing to let the clients solve the solutions for themselves as well. So there is a delicate balance to where, okay, not only are you allowing them to do the hard work and the homework to break through, to have that breakthrough of solutions so that they're doing the heavy lifting, right? You're not doing the heavy lifting anymore. You're letting them do the hard work, but it frees you up now to take care of other things. And that is the idea of solutions. Solutions, even in social work, we call that a solution-focused brief therapy, because we want the clients to figure things out for themselves and to really use their strengths. And recognize, hey, if the client is not pushing themselves forward to find the solutions, don't give up on yourself. Don't look at yourself as a bad mentor. Yes, you could be a great mentor. You could be someone who's trying to inspire your students. But don't forget, this is a relationship that is working between a professional and the client. And if the people aren't willing to buy into the system, okay, remember, it's not all on you to accept all the blame, right? People say, oh, you must, because you're the leader, you're the coach, you're the spokesman, the teacher. Okay, some people can take that role very well, but what if it is the student that really is just not wanting to be compliant with the teacher, right? And so the thing is, as a role model and a leader, yeah, talk to the people that you work for, of course, be relatable and connect with them. And then the key is, if you're going to push your clients to find solutions, have that push to where, okay, you're presenting several solutions, but then ask questions of curiosity. And curiosity can help you in this pursuit of helping people who are in need of finding solutions. And when you help provide several opportunities for clients to consider, and maybe you guys are working together and they bring a solution to you, and you're like, that's awesome. That's so awesome. I didn't even have to work as hard to present that to you, because you figure something out that we can now use to help us in the working relationship. And someone, in fact, even today helped me and my client, where they presented a solution to us where we were just talking with the business owner and they were sharing, we were just talking, they shared this one solution and I'm like, wait a minute, that's so true. I forgot about this other company. They do these kind of services as well. And so communication can bring about solutions if you're willing to listen and engage with other people and just listen to what they have to say. It's a wonderful position to be in as a listener, and you're advocating not for your client, but you're also advocating for the other people who you're wanting their help from as well, because they get a chance to share what they have, their services for you and the people that you're helping. And you give them an opportunity to talk with you and say, hey, I can do this for you all in the community. Just give me a chance. And then if you give me the information as far as what we need to solve the problem for your client, I'll come through for you. I'll come through for you and bring you the information, the tools, the supplies, the people to complete the projects, etc. I'll bring the support because now you've given me what I need to get the job done for you and your client. And so don't forget, when you all work together in this regard of making change in the community, the breakthrough, when you're setting yourself free, you're helping yourself and the people around you by being, I guess you would say, the first spark of the working relationship, but then allowing the rest of the flame to be nurtured by the other people willing to put for more firewood to the flame. And now everyone's contributing. They're recognizing, wow, we're doing something great here. We recognize that there's an impact that is happening. Let's keep supporting this cause. This cause is bringing us closer to helping people in the community, and maybe we can find more people to help in the process. And that's a wonderful thing when you consider, okay, we're all throwing our firewood into the flame. We're now seeing this flame take off, and now we can all work and share our ideas together and see that, okay, maybe we're not all on the same team, but at least being part of in some fashion with the team, we recognize that our efforts are true and that other people can refer clients to you because of a word of mouth, that there was a good word spoken on your behalf, that you were able to accomplish this, and for me as well, if you're willing to share with others what I was able to do for the client, etc., and the client for both of us. And I think one other point to conclude this video further is, when you are wanting that change for the person that you see and they're not willing to accept the change in front of them, they're not willing to break through, okay, I mentioned before, to not feel down and not feel guilty, and to remember, hey, when you want to save the world, it's a good cause, that's a good goal, but recognize, being one person, right, you can do all that you can as one person, but when you have a team of other individuals and advocates ready to help you in the cause for helping people across the world, that is a more powerful connection. And so recognize that communication, networking with other advocates in your community can be a major difference, major role player as far as bringing solutions for the clients in your community. Network, share resources among your peers, and maybe perhaps now you're all sharing ideas that you can all use from other experiences for this one or the other future experiences that you will go through when helping other clients. And to recognize, hey, when we network and talk with other people about solutions that were used before in the past, okay, you're also making that roadmap, a roadmap of solutions that is presentable to the community when it's shared among other professionals for you all to use. And so recognize that the roadmap connects with the breakthrough, because the breakthrough is now, in a way, described on a piece of paper, which is the map. And you recognize, wow, I recognize that Mike the MC and his client, they went in this direction to solve the problem, and I'm going through a similar circumstance. Maybe I'll give them a call because they recognize what stepping stones were on that part of the map that they had to overcome. But now that since they laid the foundation and the steps out for other clients to recognize moving forward in the future, now you've led the way for other clients to use that information for them as well. And so recognize everything as a step. Everything is a step that you are possibly associated with at your work, and no matter what profession you're in. And when you're able to share in the roadmap, the clues, the tips with other future entrepreneurs, businessmen, other advocates in your community, etc., who are following similar lines of work with you, maybe even different, but you're sharing information, right? That's still part of the map. Now people are seeing the breakthrough and the solutions that multiply and provide more help for people in the community is so wonderful to where people are now starting to believe that by following the solutions and sharing more with other people, that they will multiply. And that is the beautiful thing of working in the community and allowing people to come to you and to where you are now advocating and sharing all that information among each other. All right. And so I don't know. I feel like this is a great video as far as what was being said to help other people in the community, but also to recognize, hey, that don't give up on yourself. This is me as speaking to you as a person, to not give up on yourself. You're courageous, you're smart. I hope this video does find you well for anyone who watches it, but also to remember, hey, that your abilities are a reflection of who you are. And also that if you're not giving up on yourself, and to recognize, hey, I'm giving my best. I'm giving my best to help other people. And maybe I'm not recognized by other people in the community, and that's okay. And that's okay. You don't have to have all the fame and glory to be the number one in the community and to be the one that's holding the trophy at the end of the day. Recognize that the client is the one who's holding the trophy at the end of the day, and that by you being there, presenting the roadmap, you've been a hero to them just as much as you are a hero for the profession itself. And so recognize one more time that, hey, when you recognize that you have responsibility and you uphold a positive image, that positive image goes a long way that others can use for their work in the future. And that is where, in the breakthrough, when you're setting people free from their current situations, they're no longer feeling stagnant, you can use their stories, if with permission that you may, so that other people can believe that they too can overcome situations that are similar in their lives. We want to make a difference. I want to make a difference as far as through the media in some way, through the work I'm presenting here to you. And so that by the more stories we talk about and share, the more that we elaborate as a community, even in the comments or whatever that people are wanting to read, we're making that difference. And recognize that every step will present itself in a long way to the roadmap of success, and that you and I can make that map grow and grow and grow, as well as with help from the clients and sharing these solutions. The more we do, making that roadmap much bigger and presenting multiple solutions for others who need that idea to build upon. All right, everyone. I hope this video finds you well. I know I've been a little long on this one, ranting a little bit, but now I'm about to close. Get ready for tomorrow. Get ready to help clients and be ready for the day, and just to recharge, regenerate, and just to remember, hey, it's time for me to unwind, recognize I did my best, and that you and I are doing our best in the community to help other people, and we are becoming heroes just by being present and helping those in need. All right, everyone. I hope this video finds you well. Take care. Have a good one.